Hello everybody and welcome back to the Strategic Feminine here on YouTube. And of course, we like to focus on all things feminine, all things girly, all things womanly in essence. So if you're interested, don't ever hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the rest of the video. Of course, I abandoned my skinny series. I know, right? How tragic. But I'm going to get back to it. And this is another video in effort to that. I'm going to talk about the types of skinny, okay? There's lots of different types. People always like to lump us in as, oh, you're skinny, thin, petite. You know, they just put us all in one category and they don't even know. They don't even know the world of skinny. So let's talk about it, babe. And if you are someone who doesn't know anything about my skinny series, of course, I always give a mental health disclaimer. Babe, this is a space for skinny, thin, naturally petite women who like content centered around their body shape. We do not censor other body shapes. We'll clap back to any skinny discourse if we see it, as well as we are true to this, not new to this. Been skinny my whole life, okay? You're not gonna get me with any, oh, I'm so happy to be here energy. You know what I'm saying? We know the true tea. So like I said, there's different types of skinny, and a lot of times we get lumped or casted as, one thing. And what it does is it doesn't really give skinny girls the opportunity to really know deep inside their privilege what they can do with it, right? So I'm going to talk about all the different types of skinnies. And if you can happen to think of one that I forget, leave a comment down below and stay tuned. Skinny curvy. Okay, people always think that skinny girls are just up and down. No, baby. Skinny curvy. Some people use the slim thick, but I don't even think slim thick is like the exact word to use for a skinny curvy girl, because slim thick, you still have a slim stature, but there's thickness majority. Skinny curvy, you're really curvy, but you're really skinny. Like there's just like, you get both, right? So I like this word a little bit better than the slim thick in my opinion, but you can use both. Skinny curvy to me, it's still a very like a petite girl. But she has assets. She has boob, she got butt, she got thighs, she got all of it. She got fold and stretch mark and all that. And it's still beautiful, but it's in a petite frame. A lot of these women may have a pear or hourglass body. Women that come to mind, Alandria. Alandria is a skinny, curvy queen, okay? Alandria is the perfect case study for the skinny, curvy type girl. She got big boobs. I'm hearing naturally. Got a big butt, very naturally, but also that waist on nothing. That waist on flat fat. Okay, so a lot of skinny, curvy women, it does take work, because with Alandria, I feel like she has a lot of definition with her abs, and then she has some muscle around her arms. So people can naturally be built like this. It's genetics for a lot of us. But as well as if you happen to be naturally kind of curvy, you can kind of reach the, skinny curvy type of build with enhancements. So what I mean by enhancements, not so much like procedure or anything like that. For me to get my maximum skinny curvy build, really making sure that I take care of the gut. Like making sure that the abdomen is toned and worked out, and the arms also have muscles, while trying to keep the moldability of my butt. It's kind of hard. It's a hard body type to maintain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people naturally have it. You have to win the genetic lottery in these types of arenas. It's not it's not a fake it till you make it type of body type. I'll say that, right? So you kind of have to already have the thickness in those areas, the assets. And then you also have to naturally have the thinness in other areas. And then you have to just be lucky or blessed enough for it to be, thick booty, small waist. Because I know people that have, like, let's say big waist, no butt, Somebody said some girls are built like a 2x2. And I don't agree with that. But with the 2x2 body shape it's like slim. Like there really isn't any curves. So that's why I'm not comparing. I'm just telling you the difference. Like there are different types of skinny out there. So yeah. The next one that I think about is the athletic build. So these are women who are taller, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of athletes tend to be taller. They have this tall, some would consider it lanky, but I feel like that's a negative connotation. Very thin, athletic build, very sculpted muscles, but light muscle. It's not like a bodybuilder or anything like that. Light muscle, very little skinny fat. Now, being quite honest, the athletic, skinny, or like the tall, lean type of body type, it's definitely an acquired taste. It's definitely so closely associated with higher fashion, and it's for a particular demographic and niche, okay? But it does deserve to be on the panel like every other body type. And I think the closest thing that I can compare this to is like the Slavic doll body type, okay? That's another one that I feel like is very close to that athletic or lean, light muscle. Just these types of girlies that are naturally tall, they get supermodel type aspiration and admiration, and I definitely believe that that is their superpower. Okay, so like the difference between this body type and the skinny curvy has fat. It just is in certain desirable areas. With being an athletic build, there's minimal fat nowhere, not on the stomach, not on the abs, not nowhere. And it has a lot of emphasis on muscle. It has a lot of emphasis on fitness in these areas. A lot of times as well, people who are naturally built with like this athletic figure, very T for high fashion modeling. A lot of, when people talk stuff about, skinny people having their space or whatever, or having skinny exclusive spaces, what they are saying is, oh, well, don't you guys already have high fashion? Some of us like the athletic built type of women. The ones who are already naturally tall, have that thin-esque figure and looks naturally etch-a-sketched with muscle. Those are the type of girls who tend to see themselves in high fashion or catwalks, runways, that type of thing. Traditionally. Now, of course, within the new DEI era, we have a lot more diversity to choose from, but traditionally, it's always been the tall, thin woman who has been pedestalized for her beauty. So, the shorties, we kind of get left out, but they still deserve their spotlight. So that's why I mentioned it. Athletic figures are beautiful for high fashion. People think of them as elegant. People think of them as commanding attention. So I definitely love a tall, thin woman, and she has definitely deserved her beauty privileges, Women that come to mind with this type of build is like Zendaya. Zendaya is thin but tall. You know what I'm saying? And she's naturally like kind of toned. You really don't see heavy muscle on her, but you also don't see like a butt or like boobs or anything like that. She doesn't have ass fat. So that is like the main difference. A lot of these women, athletic built type women, get the accusations. Is the outfit really T or are you just skinny, right? And, it's not for no reason. A lot of these types of builds are able to pull off riskier looks. So especially more shocking editorials, you'll see slimmer women get the ability just to be able to be a little bit more riskier in their clothing without the negative connotations. So that's definitely something that I've noticed, and definitely a privilege of the athletic slim woman. I already mentioned the spaces that tailor themselves to that body and where you can get a lot of privileges if you happen to have that body. But like I said, this body is heavily desired. Lots of people love being tall and thin. It was the original beauty standard, okay? Not the current one. Current beauty standard is tall and thick, okay? We got it. But the original beauty standard was thin, tall women, and I think that was beautiful. Next slim girl body type that is definitely it's beautiful and underrepresented in my opinion is the petite girl. This is someone who is short and thin, okay? Very minimal assets. This includes the boobage or the gluteus maximus, whatever word I could use, right? These are, true to form, small people, thin people. I heard a lot of folks, call folks childlike when they have this body. Now that is a privilege. Being able to, no matter how old you are, be considered youthful in your appearance due to your body and stature, girl, eat, right? And there's people who are naturally built like this, like kind of short, very thin. You know what I'm saying? And they are going to be like that their entire lives. They're going to be grown with kids and they still going to be looking like, people will say they look 12. They look young, like 15. They would say that they look underage, but it's because they're very small. They're like very short. And then they're also very thin. And everyone assumes that body type with youth. It doesn't even matter if you don't have any of the other youthful pillars. They always are going to assume that this body type is youthful. A lot of these girls are good at in sports, particularly like being a flyer, being the top, being the one who gets to be in the air because you're so small. So you get to use your light body mass as an advantage in any sport arena. You're automatically going to be seen as the person who is good for these types of jobs, like in cheer, right? They have the flyer. Naturally, if you are short and petite, you get that little bit of genetic advantage because, you have less body mass. It's easier to throw you, pick you up, toss you in the air, easier to catch. And that is not anything that I'm going to coddle any girl about. It just is what it is. So I recommend if you have the petite body type, definitely use it to your advantage, and then know how to best market this body type as well. I do believe it's underrepresented, so you rarely ever do see people talk about, who has this body type, in my opinion. Coyle Ray. I don't know how tall Coyle Ray is, but she looks to be someone who's everyone always says that Coyle Ray looks youthful. You know what I'm saying? Everyone always says that she looks like a, really little cute chipmunk kid-like type of girl. And it's because of the body, it's because she has this thin appearance, and then she's also very short, and then she has this baby face with this skin that's kind of glowy. Coyle Ray definitely is a good representation for these types of girls, in my opinion. And unfortunately, I don't know what the best spaces are for y'all, but if you happen to know, down below, I think dance. I think if you are short and petite like this, dance may be your best route. But if you have any other suggestions, definitely leave them down below for our petite, short, cute little thin girls, right? So historically, all of these different body pillars have been hit with negative connotation, right? The athletic skinny girl, they attribute that to heroin chic. The curvy slim girl, she kind of has I think historically maybe Marilyn Monroe might best kind of be the icon for that. She was small, but not too small. Thick in all the right places, but not too thick. Definitely the beauty icon for her time. And I think that historically we have kind of been shamed from appreciating these bodies out loud. Women have always had us be a particular level of privilege or currency for them, and even somewhat of aspirational promotion. But out loud, being able to say, oh, I love my athletic, skinny, curvy body or whatever, I just don't. I hear a lot of women actually shy away from that type of language because they fear sounding like a skinny bitch or, obnoxious. And again, I even feel like the public has a lower tolerance for skinny people talking about their history, talking about their body. A lot of people like to publicly speculate about a skinny person's relationship with food, a skinny person's fitness journey, what a skinny person does or wears, or how he has her body to appear that way, if it's surgery, if it's not, if it's waist training. A lot of people have questions about, if are slim people able to find folks that are attracted to their body? You know what I'm saying? Simple, stupid, ludicrous questions, right? But then they get extremely offended when actual skinny people answer your questions, which is, yes, we do have a relationship with food that we would love to speak about. We do have people who are attracted to our body as a preference. And I think that a lot of these things are okay to talk about, but it's not politically correct, okay? And of course, this is not the channel for that. So I always will talk about even the history of what spaces are best for us and have always tailored us. Somebody was mad on my last video because they said, oh, you promoting high fashion even though it's expensive. I am not promoting you guys to go shop at Givenchy or Chanel tomorrow. That's up to you and your pocketbook. But, as far as spaces that have always been inclusive of us skinny bodies and always have placed us at the forefront, I will always show them some type of courage, because even in the late 2020s and past beyond that, it's been a lot less popular to, the traditional thin body, give them their currency out loud. We are supposed to shh and under the table, petite natural bodies. Even when Alandria had went viral for that sunglasses trend, a lot of people were upset about it and tried to basically away at the trend because it promoted negative body, or negative body image to other women who do not naturally have this shape. Okay. And the thing about it is, You see that all the time in media where the skinny girl is just trying to say, hey, I love myself. And, it's like, no, that's not politically correct. Don't say that out loud. No. Okay. So, of course, bear with us. Skinny women ignoring their privileges, preferences, and then favor in society is not going to make for the better body image for the remaining body types. Okay. That's not how it works. Okay, everyone's going to have to be able to feel beauty, find the beauty, and find comfort in their own skin. And I think that having this culture is what led to a lot of insecure skinny women of this generation, and why I can't find a TikTok without people saying, I used to hate being skinny, but this is my acceptance coming to 2020, 6? So again, that's why I am like kind of an advocate, because these arguments, although made in good faith, can have negative effects on the skinny people who have a hard time finding aspiration for their body, but have a hard time speaking about any traumas they may have had based off of others' connotation of what skinny seems like for them, right? So I know some people have aspirations of always wanting to be skinny, and your relationship with that will be different than a naturally petite person, okay? I think skinny fat is the next body type, and skinny fat to me, like I talk about now, not to talk bad, okay? Skinny fat is when the girl is still thin, still petite, but there is not any muscle, okay? There's a lack of muscle, actually. Skinny fat can show up on the stomach. Skinny fat can show up in desirable areas such as the butt or the body. This body type just needs a little shaping, just a little bit, you know what I mean? Like just a little sit up, a little crunch, a couple times a week, nothing too major, but definitely wanting to make sure that you're not bloated. That's what I see with a lot of skinny fat girls. They're bloated, okay? If you somebody that you drink maybe alcohol or, just a puffy too in some areas. I also see this in just girls who, they've been through life, and they have postpartum bodies. I see a lot of that as well. So I don't want to talk any bad about anybody. I'm just saying this is a body type and it deserves to be on the panel. Okay. I'm just talking about it like it has to be on the panel. The best thing to do with a skinny fat type of body is really just, start shaping it, start molding it. It really doesn't take much cardio, just a little bit of shaping, strength. People really do. Everyone who I've asked, if I spoke to, really stands behind muscle building. I don't know why. I don't know how. Everyone who I spoke to really does say that if you build muscle, that's a little bit more beneficial than running on a treadmill. So keep that in your back brain when you are making choices that are towards upping the aesthetics, especially when you are elevating or even enhancing your skinny privilege. It's okay to be like, okay, well, there are some areas that we're going to work on. Like I said, every woman has problem areas. I don't know. I thought that was a known thing, that every woman has problem areas. Now people trying to act like they don't have no problem areas, and that's okay. I get it. Save face, but like at the end of the day, yes, every woman has problem areas, and once you get into the privacy of your own, it's okay to acknowledge those and work on fixing them, right? Just so no one can clock your teeth. Okay, I always tell y'all that, right? The next type of skinny that I notice that people are talking about the most, if you're asking, is 2000 skinny. Now, 2000 skinny has made an entire conversation. Everybody wants to talk about 2000 skinny coming back. And of course, I do feel like those were treacherous times. Do not get me misconstrued, okay? I feel like those were treacherous times. Everybody was fat in 2000s. And that's why a lot of people are so hesitant, and definitely passive aggressive towards the skinny space.
Why the hell is the younger generation talking about they want to be 2000 skinny? Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Show you examples of celebrities who were bullied. Talking front page news by the media for being way too chunky for Hollywood. Alicia Silverstone had so many articles written about her to the point where she still talked about it in 2020 when she got on TikTok. Lindsay Lohan was considered to be the fat girl in Mean Girls. Hilary Duff, I don't even want to get onto how bad they bullied this girl about her weight, but she's perfect. The second to holy grail of all body shaming was Kate Upton's Sports Illustrated magazine cover. When I tell you that Sports Illustrated literally caught so much flack for this cover because they said she was way too big, but nothing tops the holy grail. This was Britney Spears' 2007 VMAs comeback after she had had two babies. The way that she was plastered all over the media was insane. You would have thought that she was a whale shark in this photo, the way that they talked about her in the news. So please, millennial here, we did so much work to make sure that you guys did not have to go through that body pressure. Don't bring back 2000 skinny.
Yeah, so I don't want anyone to wrongfully assume that I support 2000 skinny. I think that looking back, it's super restrictive, it's traumatizing, and I don't think any of those women should have been put through that. Many of actresses speak about how restrictive it was for all parties involved, all demographics involved, and I don't support that. I believe that if you're going to enhance your body, do it the hard way, do it the right way, with hard work, dedication, time. I don't agree with using sketchy chemicals and all that weird practice crap. I don't agree with the a day. I don't agree with anything that is restrictive. So take that from me. I definitely understand, and we are in agreement that 2000 skinny is to not come back, and I'm okay with that. If you naturally have this body type, enjoy it. If you were born like this, praise Jesus. But outside of that, it is what it is. And for the outside population or the general population of women, we shouldn't be trying to focus we should be leaving the 2000s in the past, okay? Okay. The last body type, one is absolutely beautiful. I love what they've been able to do with their exclusive spaces, is the muscular girly. The muscular girly, she takes dedication, she takes consistency, she takes work. You cannot fake it till you make it with this one. You cannot genetic your way to a muscular type build. These bodybuilder type women have to work. Okay, they have to have work ethic. They have to be consistent. You can have muscle 1 week, and then 3 weeks later, the muscle is gone. You have to be consistent, okay? So I think that this body type is beautiful. A lot of these women, if you are, into that type of thing, do bikini contests or bodybuilding contests to kind of show off their body. And that's kind of like a creative, skinny, exclusive space, or space where they're able to get body privileges and kind of make money off of that and monetize and make commerce off the fact that you know them for having these radical body. So personally, I always like to show appreciation to everybody, and whatever you have, show love to it. Look into the mirror and kiss yourself and say that it's beautiful and love it. But always understand that you got your hand on the joystick, right? So you are in control of whatever you look like, whatever you see in the mirror. And if you want to change, do that, and never apologize for reaping what you're owed and collecting your flowers today. I stand by that 100%. And of course, I always tell y'all, be good people. Be holy people, read the word and spread the word. And I'll be back on the next video here at The Strategic Feminine. Bye.